Hey everybody, it's Cauliflower Man here, bringing you a gameplay of Phoebe from Battleborn. I am on the map Overgrowth. I'm playing Incursion. I'm level 5 right now as Phoebe, meaning I have her ultimate. That's really when she starts to take off. Once she hits level 6, you'll see she really becomes a very dynamic character, because every time her shield gets depleted, she'll instantly reset the counter on her phase gate, so you'll be able to teleport in and out of battle. Notice on that thrall that I used my blade rush on it. The blade rush puts a silence on it, and the silence on enemy AI works almost like a stun for 3 to 5 seconds. The problem with silence is when you hit them in the face with melee, sometimes it'll make them flinch, and the flinch takes them out of silence. So sometimes it works well, other times it doesn't. I usually like to lead with it. That gives them less of a chance to flinch when you hit them, rather than using it later. You'll see later on I'll use a silence on a thrall and get it down to half health before it gets out of the sort of stun it's in. And then I come in behind enemy lines and use my ultimate. That's the way I like to do it. They didn't see me, so I used the ultimate first and then teleported to slow them and body block them, but that's really the way I like to do it. Her ultimate, that blade cascade, it has a huge area of effect, and I'm pretty sure if you actually could fill the entire area with enemies, it would do the most damage by far. I know I've gotten multiple thousands of damage off of a single cascade when you hit it on a minion wave, a couple enemy Battleborn, and a sentry. That's really the ideal place to put it, so we're really in the ideal location for Phoebe. She really can do a huge amount of damage when you're pushing the enemy sentry. That's where she excels at. Right here, also notice that I hug this pillar over here. That just gives me good sightline on the entire enemy position, and it blocks the sentry from attacking me. And there's really only a few locations that I can get attacked by the enemy players too, so I'm really in a good defensive position. Notice I have my ultimate back and I have my phase gate, so I just get in there, use it on everybody that I can, get a kill on that Shane right away, and then I start focusing this Isaac. I'm not able to kill him, but we were able to get a bunch of kills out of that battle right there, so that was a very good exchange. And then when you've got man advantage, just keep pushing it, because whoever's left on the enemy team, they're really not gonna have a good chance of defending against you. So we have our minions in there too, so I know that the sentry's attacking the minions, so I push that Galt real hard. You don't usually want to do that, but if you have a good push going and the sentry is focused on your minions, you can usually get in there without taking any damage, so that's just what I did. And then again, I'm just standing up here waiting to try and find a good angle attack. I go straight onto this Isaac. He uses his shield. Don't be afraid to just beat somebody's shield down. Most of the time their shield will only block 1,000 damage, which isn't actually that much, so I just beat his shield down until he can't block anymore, and I'm able to do a little bit of damage. And then right here, I use my ultimate. I wanted to use it on that sentry, but I don't think I really hit the sentry that much, or Isaac that much, so it really wasn't all that terribly useful. And then level 7, that's when you unlock her attack speed bonus. You could use her skill damage, because that would make her ultimate, her blade cascade, do a lot of damage, but I feel like I do the vast majority of my damage just with her normal attack, and 20% attack speed bonus is absolutely massive. It just completely turns you into a monster, and then at this point people can't keep up to you in terms of damage for seconds, so as long as you engage them first, you'll be fine. And if you'll notice, my shield is at 540 and my health is near like 2,200, so I almost have like, I think it's almost 3,000 total damage that the enemy has to put on me. And I think I'm using the level up where if I hit them with my True Strike, I have a 30% damage reduction. So if I'm at almost 3,000 total damage and have 30% damage reduction, they have to put almost 4,000 damage on me for me to die. And that's insane. As you can see, I'm not quite at 3,000, I was at 2,700, but that still puts me up near 3,500 damage with a 30% damage reduction. And then obviously anytime you get in there when the enemy team's weak, because Blade Cascade hits a huge area of effect, you kill everybody. So they were all weak, so I got like 3 kills there, 1 assist, then I get this assist here on that Umbra, and so that entire enemy team's gone. And that's about the end of this video here. The next videos, it's going to show a low-level Phoebe and then a high-level Phoebe in the same game, so you'll get to watch sort of the transformation happen in one game, so it'll be more what you'll experience as you're playing. So on this second video here, I'm a low-level Phoebe. So with low-level Phoebe, you have to play her a little differently. That's true of all characters, but as you can see, level 2, I just unlocked my stun. When you're level 1 with Phoebe, your phase gate is purely defensive because you have no stun, or you have no slow ability with it. So it's better to use to run away like I just did right there. Even at level 2, when you do have the slow on it, it's still good to use defensively, and I think I use it defensively all the time unless I'm at full health, and then sometimes I'll use it offensively, but otherwise I basically use phase gate defensively. You can also tell that my shield is only 300 right now, but I still try to play her the same way, where when your shield gets down you really got to get out of there. That's the way it is with almost every melee character. Later on, once her shield reaches 540, obviously that gives you a lot more time that you can stay in the battle and do work. And then once you hit level 6, you can stay in the battle real late once you get the teleport after your shield has been depleted. That's just because you can teleport at half health pretty safely and almost always get away. So as you can see, my health is pretty high, but I go in there, I still don't lead with that phase gate because I just don't think it's a good idea. We were able to bubble that Galt, and I put my silence on him as well. That way when he got out, there was nothing he was going to be able to do. And then I started getting hurt, so I ran out, but our Alani hit me with full heal, so now I'm at full health. As you can see, I've got most of my gear on right now. And my shield is actually very high now. I think it gets up to like 680 or something like that. Maybe it's even more. We'll see when it fully charges here, but that just really makes Phoebe very tanky. Yeah, it went up to 680. That gives me a huge amount of damage that I can just soak up before taking any health damage. With 680 shield, you can get in there, do quite a bit of damage, and then get out without taking any health damage. Obviously, I'm using a little bit of health regen, so I let myself get hurt a little bit, and then I just use that phase gate defensively. Always remember, with phase gate, you can jump up on top of things, so you don't have to stay on the same ground level. And because the jump in Battleborn for most characters is they jump so low, going to a different level is always a good thing, and that's a very dynamic move that really cuts a lot of people off. So having high mobility, especially aerial mobility, it's a big thing, and Phoebe's phase gate gives her that. So right here I'm at pretty high health, and I use my phase gate in there, and I focus on Kid Ultra specifically for the fact that he's easy to hit. Then I try and get out of there. That Gald is able to, he chains me in and I die. There's really not a whole lot you can do if a Gald chains you. I mean, if your shield's down and he chains you, you're basically dead. He's kind of a broken character right now. He's not the easiest character to play, so if you're new, I wouldn't really start with Galt. If you're new, I would start with, you know, Arendi or Benedict, just because those are the easy damage per second characters where you don't really have to aim as well. And then after those two, obviously you want to kind of learn a support just so you see how everything's kind of working out, because as support you get to watch all the other characters play, and so you get to learn, you know, how everybody else should be played just by watching them, and you'll see which characters that you're healing are good and which ones aren't. So support's a good person to learn early. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the video though, this video is almost over. I'm going to finish this one off with a kill on this Arendi here. In the next video, I'm going to be a little bit higher level, and it's just going to go back to showing you what a fully powered Phoebe looks like. But always remember, low level Phoebe, use that phase gate defensively. So for this third and final video, I'm a level 9 Phoebe, almost level 10. Once you hit level 10, you can increase the area of effect of Phoebe's ultimate by 50% and give you a 30% movement speed while inside it. That just makes you create a complete area of death where you eviscerate all of your enemies. The amount of damage you can actually do with that ultimate, if there were enemies filling it, is insane. And then right here with this Arendi, I'm just body blocking her real well, and I get her to think twice about trying to run that way and escape. But then I do a terrible phase gate, so it takes me a while to kill her here. So I end up just using my ultimate just to make sure to get the kill, and so I get that kill on her. then I get that level 10 upgrade, and you'll notice on my next ultimate that it's just gonna be absolutely massive, and so there's really no way anybody can get away from it as if they start out in it, and they're gonna take at least 400 some damage. They're gonna take quite a bit. So then I just keep trying to slowly tear apart this enemy team, take them out one by one. I have the silence on Phoebe's Blade Rush. I know I've said that before, but one thing you've got to remember is that puts a stun on all AI, so if you want to just stun enemy AI or enemy minions during a minion wave, it's a great thing to do. I should have done it right here to this Thrall, but I accidentally did my phase gate first, and you can see me try and hit him with the Blade Rush and get him to get stunned before he takes out my minion wave, but I'm not able to, and then I get pulled by that Galt and I got killed. But one thing to remember with that silence is because it works on all AI, you have to use it during the right time. So like, you don't want to silence AI when they're away from your minions. You wait for, like, if it's an elite minion or if it's a Thrall or if it's enemy minion waves, it doesn't matter. Wait for them to get close to your minions and then use your area of effect. I don't know what you call them, the opposite of buffs, not debuffs, but things like weaken, wounds, stuns, silence, whatever it is. If you're going to do that on AI, always do that when they meet your AI. That way you give the advantage to your AI. And that's the way you want to do it. Obviously, if you have a stun or a silence, you want to use that as, like, when the Thrall is directly in front of your minions, for two reasons. One, because that's the only time he's going to use that skill, so it's the only time the silence actually does anything. And two, when he's silenced, you're going to do a huge amount of damage to the Thrall or the elite bot, whatever it is, just because your minions are going to attack it. So always use your minions as just extra damage. They have a huge damage output. Getting back to the game now, though, what I really want right now is to do an offensive phase gate and then my ultimate. My ultimate's huge right now, so if I can hit it, that's great. And so I end up using it. I kind of back up and use it more on the Orendi, but generally speaking, if your team's making a push, the enemies are going to retreat, and if you have your ultimate behind them, they're going to back up into it, and that's exactly what that Umbra did. And when they back up into it, they usually don't see it, and she didn't see it, so she died too. I tried to use my silence on that Galt. I wanted to see if it would take him out of his ultimate, but it didn't. So just so you know, the silence doesn't take, well, it doesn't take certain enemies out of their ultimates, at least. I don't know if it would work for someone with a real long ultimate like Isaac or something. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But then I see that they're taking Thralls, and I have a teleport, so I teleport over there just to challenge. And you can't really challenge a Phoebe in a melee battle when I've teleported to you because you're slowed. And so we take that Beatrix down, and we also take her Thrall. And so this is basically, it's really looking bad for the enemy team right now, and I've got all my skills, so I'm going to use them in the perfect place on the entire enemy team, and it's Sentry, so I get a kill on that Orendi, I get a kill on that Umbra, and on that Kid Ultra. I'm not able to kill that, or maybe I got an assist on one of them, but I wasn't able to kill that Galt. But that was the end of the video as Phoebe. Just remember, as Phoebe, choose your encounters wisely, use that phase gate defensively, and then once you hit level 6, you can use the phase gate both offensively and defensively, and that just takes you to a whole nother level.